Greetings, this is Miss Jackson. This is going to be the first video in the Unit 1 test review or Module 1 test review. This video will cover questions 1 through 3. Problem 1 says, the electrical panel shown has 4 outlets. How many outlets do 6 of these electrical panels have? To solve this, I'm going to draw a model of the problem. I'm going to start by drawing all 6 panels. I know that each panel has 4 outlets. What I'm looking for is the total number of outlets that are found on 6 panels. To find that, I'm going to combine all of my 4s. I can do that with a repeated addition, or I can use multiplication. 6 times 4 equals 24. Because we're still so new to learning our multiplication facts, one thing that I always encourage the kids to do is use skip counting to help find a total. So when you look at the model that I drew, we could skip count that by 4s by saying 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Okay, moving on to the next problem. Problem 2 says, Zachary lists some different methods he thinks he can use to solve the multiplication problem shown. This is the problem they're referring to, 8 times 4. Which of these is not a method Zachary can use to get the correct answer? Anytime we see the word not, we need to make sure we make a note of that, whether it's underline it, circle it, something. We're looking for which one of these methods is not a way to represent 8 times 4. What we're going to do now is go through each option and see, does it represent 8 times 4 or not? So option A, this is an array. For an array, we would need to have either 8 rows of 4 or 4 rows of 8, because another way to write this multiplication sentence would be 4 times 8 equals something. That is the commutative property of multiplication. When I look at this array, I see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. The size of each row is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 objects in each row. Therefore, A does represent this problem. This cannot be the right answer because we want the one that does not represent it. B. B is one that kids miss a lot because they're going so quickly that they're not paying attention to the operation. 8 times 8 times 8 times 8 is very, very different than 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. 8 times 4 could be represented with repeated addition, where we would add 8 together 4 times, but we would not multiply 8 4 times. That would give us a much bigger number than whatever the product of 8 and 4 is. Therefore, B is most likely not a method that Zach could use to get the correct answer. So B is one we're going to make a note of. We're not going to just stop there, though. We're going to check every answer. Option C. When I look at option C, I can see that there is a list that is skip counting by 4. The distance between each number on here is 4. If it is skip counting by 4, which is one of my factors, then it must do that 8 times to represent this expression or equation. So I'm going to look and see how many times have we skip counted here by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This does indeed represent that problem. Because it represents the problem, this is not the answer we're looking for because we're looking for which one does not represent the problem. The last option is D. It is a number line, but when I look at the number line, I see that once again these hops are occurring in intervals of 4. From number to number is a distance of 4. I'm going to look and see how many hops there are. If there are 8 hops of 4, then this too would represent 8 times 4. Let's see. Here's 1 hop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hops of 4. This does represent 8 times 4, and we want the one that does not. So I'm going to mark that out. That means the only option that we have is B. Problem 3, and I included problem 3 on here because there is a question similar to this and an answer input similar to this one. This is one of those new question types that has been introduced in the last couple of years on the STAR test, and there will be an input like this on their test coming up for this module. This says Lynn has a total of 36 sodas in packs. There are 6 sodas in each pack. How many packs of sodas does Lynn have? This is one of those problems that needs to be read not once, not twice, but thrice. 3 times before we start doing anything. As we read it, we want to make a note of what we know for sure. And I tell the kids what we know is typed in black and white. It's not what we think, not what we figured out, what we absolutely know because it is typed into the problem. When I reread this, it says Lynn has a total of 36 sodas in packs. I know for sure that there is a total of 36 sodas. As I continue reading, it says there are 6 sodas in each pack. Each is such an important word in math word problems because it has a very important meaning, and it means every single pack. So I'm going to make a note of that. Here's a pack of soda, and there are 6 in there. How many of these packs do we need to get to a total of 36? To do that, down in the bottom, I'm going to start making groups of 6. There is a pack of 6. Here is a pack of 6. If I find the total, I'm at 6, 12 total sodas. I'm not at 36 sodas yet, so I need to keep adding packs of sodas until I reach my total of 36 total sodas. Now, how many packs did it take us to get to 36 total sodas? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packs. This is where I wanted to highlight this new answer type. We don't use decimals in 3rd grade. They're not introduced until 4th grade. However, the decimal does show up on this answer type. We need to know that right beside the decimal is the ones place, then the tens place, and then the hundreds place. And this is something we will cover in class before the test. And it's something I remind them minutes before we start the test. When we input our answer is 6. He has 6 packs. We need to make sure that we put that in the ones place. The biggest mistake I see is that kids will sometimes put the 6 in the wrong place value, and the computer will count it wrong. On the first test, I usually try to go through and check their paper answer and compare it to what they put in on the computer. And if I see they clearly came up with the answer 6, they stuck it in the wrong place, at least on the first test, I will give them credit back for that. I will make a note on their paper letting them know to be more careful, and I'll usually have a verbal conference with them pointing that out. If you see that your child has missed it on tests after this first one, then it's because they put it in the computer wrong. They have to be able to take their answer from the paper to the computer correctly so that they can get credit for that. Again, on the first test, I try to go through and catch little mistakes like that, but on tests after that, they need to be more careful. Okay, those are problems 1 through 3. The next video will cover 4, 5, and 6. Please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.